Alright, so part 2 for today, we're going to be doing sequencer. Sequencer is a way of animating objects without using a timeline or using a spline, something like that. Okay? So they're really nice when you want to coordinate multiple objects moving together. Like we got these couple of guys here. If you remember a previous video, they used to be floating up in the air. They're going to be a goalie now. I've set them to solid. I went to their blueprints and made sure that their skeletal mesh is set to block all right here. And so I've got my little soccer game here where we're going to try and kick the ball here through the goal. And I want these two guys to be animating sort of left and right and trying to block my shots. If you're doing just one thing, then, just a timeline, something like that, easy enough. But things get complicated when you're trying to animate multiple things at the same time and you're editing one and you have to edit the other, and it's really annoying. So these things called sequences are really good for dealing with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, right-click, choose Cinematics, and choose Level Sequence. And I'm going to call this guy the goalie sequence, like this. Save it, as always. Double-click to open it. If it doesn't snap down here, sometimes it'll float like this. I find it helpful to kind of snap it down. Don't freeze, thank you. Snap it down here, like that. And before you get going, I would change maybe the frame rate to 60 so it smoothly animates, and show the time in seconds. By default, Unreal shows the time in frames. I prefer seconds. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you have to tell the sequencer what objects are going to be animated in the sequence. Okay, and so I am going to click on this goalie here, and then in the world outliner on the right hand side, I'm just going to drag this guy in here, and then it's going to start tracking it. And then I'm going to click on the second goalie here and go back to the world outliner here and drag that guy in. And now we are tracking both of these guys. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click on the first one and add a transform track to it and timestamp it. Timestamping is very important. And then I'm going to go to the second guy, add a transform track. Transform, if you remember, is location, rotation, and scale, or translation, rotation, and scale to be, more OG about it. And we're going to add that little plus. That plus is very important. Do not forget it. That keyframes the point. Okay. I'm then going to advance the time to 1 second. And I'm going to move these guys left and right. And what I'm going to do is basically move them left and right to the point where I want them to go, and then keyframe them again. All right. So this guy here in the front here, I'm going to set his transform to 2000 in the X direction. And then, we just keyframe it. Okay? I think it did it automatically for us. All right. And then for this guy, we're going to set his location to 1500. In the X direction. No, wrong way. 3000. There we go. In the X direction. And then I'm going to rewind it and then keyframe if it doesn't do it for you automatically. And then when I hit play, you'll see the two of them smoothly and at the same time and at the same speed fly left and right. And we can rewind back keyframe by clicking on these little things here. I'll set it exactly at 2500 to begin with, so that they're lined up exactly in the middle here. Okay, and then when I hit play, there we go. Cool, neat. Now, you can see the timeline is actually over 5 seconds. And if you want, I'm probably going to leave it at 5 seconds. 5 seconds is actually probably the right amount of time to do a looping goalie animation like that. But if you want, you can do things like setting the start time and setting the end time. I think 5 seconds is probably going to work for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them slide open. So the shot's open. I'm going to have them pause there for a second. Then I'm going to have them cross back the other way, and then pause, and then come back to the middle, and then loop it permanently. So if that works out to 5 seconds, it does. If it doesn't, I can mess with it. We'll just kind of see how this goes. So there. Yeah, I think that's going to work out to 5 seconds. Okay. So I'm going to have them just pause for a second. you can just give a precise time by clicking on that and editing it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to keyframe the 2-second mark for both of these guys. And you can either keyframe just the location, or you just do the whole transform. It's probably a little bit easier. Yeah, we can mess with the rotation, I guess. That could be kind of fun. So, like, which one is this guy? Well, let's find out. 10. Okay, that guy. Yeah, so he kind of moves and then tilts away. It's kind of fun. And then for this guy, rotation, we'll pitch him -10. You might be like, wait, that's not pitch. Pitch is forward. Yeah, it's because Unreal Engine has issues. For whatever reason, the forward vector isn't the forward vector on these mannequins. They use the Y direction for forward. It's don't get me started. Okay, so if we rewind and we play it, we rewind. Do we? Let's go back to here. There, okay, and we hit play. You can see they move, and notice that I keyframed the positions. They move first, and they keep tilting away. Okay, let's pretend that was deliberate. So next, they move, they sat there for a second, and then they're going to slide back. Okay, and so they're going to cross over, and so at the 3-second mark, we are going to have them on the opposite sides of the goal. And so this guy was at 3,000. He will now get 2,000 and tilted the other way. And then this guy was at 2,000. He'll be at 3,000 and tilted the other way. Okay. So if we rewind and play, see they tilt away, and then they're going to snap around to the other side, tilt it away again. Maybe we'll actually take out that keyframe for the roll, because I kind of like that look of they kind of move and then they like tilt a little bit and then they slide and they can tilt a little bit. Maybe it's a little weird for them to be tilting while they're moving. So maybe we will at like a quarter second in, 2.25. I'm going to set the pitch back to neutral on them. Keyframe that and set the pitch back to neutral on you. Keyframe that. Okay. And so basically they're going to tilt back to neutral and then slide, because it looks weird when they're tilted the wrong way. There we go. All right. So then we're going to pause for another second. We set the time to 4. We keyframe the whole transform. Why not? And we'll do that for the other guy as well. And this is the case where we are going to tilt them the other way. Wrong way. The other way. There we go. And the other way. Okay. So rewind, play, they tilt away, and then they snap back, kind of tilt away again, and then they're going to come back to the center at the end, because I want this to be a looping animation that I can just play, fire and forget. Don't have to do anything with blueprints or anything like that. Blueprints can play sequences. You can do a cinematic cutscene using camera track, and you can have, it's like you walk into a cavern and suddenly the game pauses and there's a dragon, and the camera kind of zooms up to the dragon. The dragon goes, rah, it's like bleed tooth, the indomitable, and then then you go, oh no, and you fight it. Here we're not doing anything like that with a cinematic cutscene. We're just going to have an animation of multiple things in the world that are going to be moving together back and forth, and we can put as many objects into the world as we want to keep them synchronized together. It's a really easy to use system. And so I scrubbed over to time 5. I'm just going to reset the pitch, and I'm going to put its X location back to 2500, and why not? Yeah, we'll just keyframe everything just in case I mess with the scale or something later. And then for this guy, back to 2500 with you. Back to pitch, which is really roll. 0 with you, and then we'll just keyframe the whole thing and rewind and play. And there we go. There we go. All right, cool. Now, how do we get this to actually play? Because if I save this, I think we're good. If I save this and close out, if I play the game, here's Nick back in here, back in action. Here you see they're not actually animating. I just went. You're like, but wait, I just made this whole sequencer. Like, why isn't it playing? Well, as it turns out, you actually have to add the sequencer to the world. Because you can have a lot of cutscenes and they're not always playing, right? So I'm going to add the Foosball sequence to the world, just like this, and just have this little icon hovering nearby so I can find it when I want to. Hit save, of course. And then what we can do is under the details panel, you can trigger things using blueprints and things like that. We're actually just going to have it autoplay. We're going to have it autoplay in a loop indefinitely. That's it. And so, yeah, that's it. Save, play. Let's go. Last day of school. Let's do this. Okay. Die, zombies, die. Okay. This is the wrong sequencer that I put out there. This is a foosball sequence. I was making a foosball thing earlier where the thing's sliding forward and backwards. Sorry, this is the wrong sequence. But that was kind of cool, right? It's like they're moving, but they're moving the wrong way. Okay, yeah, look at this. So these guys slide forward and backwards, right? Like in a foosball match. Okay, sorry about that. So if you want to get rid of a sequence, right, you can delete this person and go back to goalie sequence. There we go. And the goalie sequence, again, we want it to autoplay and loop indefinitely. You got a little bonus animation there for free. You're welcome, Riddell. It still worked, yeah. It was actually, it was just surprising to me because I'm like, wait, I literally just made the move side to side. Why is he moving forward? This is like Bethesda level coding right here. Okay. So let's go over here and check out our, dang it, zombies, stop hitting my ball. Okay, so let's see if I can make a goal. Ah, dang it. All right, come on, ball. Here we go. All right. Whoa. No. Oh. God dang. Let's try this again. No. I died. It's hard. Especially since the zombies actually have the ability to kick the ball. Oh! There it is. All right. Perfect shot for the... it went through. I think. All right. Get out of here, zombie. Get out of here. My boy Nick's got to score some points. I'm dead. Okay. Well, whatever. You saw it. It's recorded. It's on video. I successfully scored a goal on the goalies here. So that's that sequencer. There's probably another video that I can put onto Canvas that I made last semester on how to do a cinematic sequence where you can do an overview of a level. You start the game and the camera flies around the level, kind of showing you where things are. It's very common in video games. But thank you, goalie. That's right. Okay. So, but I'm excited that it worked so well. So that is your homework for today. Make a little animation, a little something, and then you guys got to the end of next Thursday, to finish your Unreal project and show it off. I'm looking forward to seeing it. All right. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.